somebody had asked me about the Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, which one of his sons was slaughtered? This is interesting because I think we have nothing truly conclusive that tells us which son it was. Okay, so many Muslims believe, right, this Tsar Olaf who keeps saying, "Oi, fix your camera. How about we fix you instead?" And block you. So behave yourself before you get before you get blasted into oblivion, right? So now the coming back to what I was saying, Ibrahim alayhi salam, this sacrificing of his son, there's 2 points I want to take a look at. One, which son? And two, I want to take a look at the actual sacrifice. Offering a sacrifice. What is this about? Okay, so these two things. First of all, which son was it? Now there is a difference of opinion within Islam as well. This is not an agreed upon fact. Majority of the people seem to believe it was Ishmael alayhi salam, and they use certain evidences, certain hadith to go with the Prophet saying things like, "I am the son of the two men who were almost sacrificed." And so these kind of things, and they use other narrations to imply and infer that it was Ismail alayhi salam. Other people felt it was Ishaq alayhi salam. Amongst them, they say it was Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu an believed that. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, I believed that as well. Imam Malik, actually, believe it or not, believed that it was Ishaq and not Ismail. The great Maliki scholar from Muslim Spain, Qadi Abu Bakr ibn al-Arabi, the Don and legend, right, of Muslim Spain, he actually, right, he actually explains the whole difference. He's got a whole book on it called, I think it's called Al-Qawl Al-Sahih fi Tabyin Al-Dhabih. Something, I do have it here somewhere. And I went through, it's a good book, and he goes through all these differences of opinion and shows, although Abu Bakr ibn Arabi himself goes with the understanding that it's Ismail in the end, but there is no conclusivity on this matter. I once sat in a lesson many years ago with a sheikh trying to say how the Jews have got it wrong, and it wasn't Ishaq, it was clearly Ismail. The truth is that's false. We don't have any conclusivity. Most Muslims, we tend to believe it was Ismail. Other Muslims believed it was Ishaq. They were great Muslims, people like Imam Malik, like Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu an, Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, great people of this ummah. So both opinions hold strength. Okay, so that's the first aspect. The second aspect is, what about sacrificing your son? Now, you see, when we read the Quran, it's interesting that Allah doesn't say He commanded Ibrahim alayhi salam to sacrifice his son. Okay, He doesn't say that. Ibrahim alayhi salam, Allah relates, as in narrates, that Ibrahim alayhi salam mentions to his son that he saw a dream, that inni ara fil manami anni adhbahuk, that I saw a dream. It was a really strange dream. In the dream I was sacrificing you. Now we know in old nations and old civilizations people had offerings and they did these kind of things as sacrificial rituals and things like this. Ibrahim alayhi salam does not say anywhere that Allah told me to do this. Or Allah does not say anywhere He is telling Ibrahim alayhi salam to do this. Rather, Ibrahim alayhi salam is telling his son, in his old age, he tells his son that, look, I saw in a dream that I'm sacrificing you. His son, who is young at the time, very young, is obviously a young boy, says to him that this is revelation and you should do it. It's a command. So he says that he tells him, "If'al ma tu'mar," that you need to do, and you will find that I will be patient. Like, sacrifice me. That this is revelation. It must be God telling you. It must be God telling you to sacrifice me. And then I can see, yes, I mean, some people may take an angle that was it the shaitan giving this kind of an insinuation. That's an angle. Another angle is maybe even if it wasn't the shaitan, but it was just a dream. It could be, I mean, that's an angle. Some people have used that verse, except when the shaitan kind of threw into them thoughts about the prophets and stuff like this. There is that verse, and it is... and you see it here, so وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ مِنْ رَسُولٍ وَلَا نَبِيٍّ إِلَّا إِذَا تَمَنَّى أَلْقَى الشَّيْطَانُ فِي أُمْنِيَّتِهِ. So this kind of verse, which some people have foolishly used to justify the satanic verses with our prophet, but this, some people may argue that this was to do with that same dream and Ibrahim alayhi salam, this coming from the devil. Other people, it doesn't have to be that though. It doesn't have to be that. It could just be that sometimes, you see, even in psychology, when you love something so much, it preoccupies your mind and you have a fear of loss. And people often end up dreaming about that thing. And Ibrahim alayhi salam, we know that in his old age, he was really fond of this child. All of a sudden he had a son and he was really fond of him. Now he has this dream. So it could have been just a natural dream. It doesn't have to be something, although that may be an interpretation. But the point is that it's his son who starts emphasizing to him that, no, this is revelation, you need to do it. To the extent that he convinces Ibrahim alayhi salam that this must be a test and I'm going to do it. And Allah saves Ishmael and tells Ibrahim alayhi salam that, look, because of your conviction that you felt that Allah had commanded you to do this, even though Allah hadn't commanded you, but because of your sheer devotion, commitment to Allah, that the most beloved thing to you, you thought Allah has commanded you to sacrifice it, and you were even prepared to do that, to go to that extent for your love of for Allah, that Allah, for that love, not the act of sacrificing, but for that love, Allah highly commends Ibrahim alayhi salam and tells him that this stops him from doing that, tells him sacrifice an animal, the ram that appears, and we'll make this a sunnah for people that will come as well from your sunnah. And this is the level, that your level of devotion to Allah, even when Allah hadn't told you to do this, but you felt that Allah had told you to do it, maybe because of this dream and your son telling you, that you were prepared to sacrifice everything for you, just so you remain faithful to Allah. That love and devotion from Ibrahim, he himself has the status of like the commitment of a civilization almost in one man. That inna Ibrahim kana ummah, he was like an ummah in himself. Now, this is the understanding. Okay. So I just wanted to highlight that. So people have asked things like this, and this is something that atheists ask a lot as well, that Ibrahim, why would God want Abraham to sacrifice his son? God didn't tell Abraham to sacrifice his son. So I just wanted to clarify that. Nowhere in the Quran does Allah mention that. Nowhere does he say, I wanted him to sacrifice and do this. So just to clarify these things, okay? So I hope that's of some help.